Hey guys, this is Ryan, the Angry Veggie Punk. Welcome to the first Angry Veggie Punk episode. What I'm going to be talking about today is new vegans and how you can go vegan if you haven't already. Odds are you probably are. So what is a vegan? A vegan is someone who rejects the use of all animal products whatsoever. There are certain things that we can't completely eliminate. There's things that are not practical for everybody to do. An example that I see thrown around a lot is people who have cars that have a leather interior, and they either were, for whatever reason, they're stuck with that car that has leather interior. Maybe it was a hand-me-down, maybe it was something that they owned prior to becoming vegan. Things like that. The vegan police may come after you, but you won't get any harsh sentences from that. So if you're not already vegan, how do you transition? There's no right way and there's no wrong way. It's whatever works for you. If you want to cut everything out all in one, go for it. If you want to use up the rest of what you have in your house, the rest of your food, the rest of your products that are not cruelty-free, any cleaning products, any makeup, stuff like that, that's fine too. It's all about what works for you, what is economical for you, and what you're okay with morally. Most importantly, find support however you're able to do so. Whether one way to find support is through Facebook groups. There's a lot of great ones out there. Highly recommend just type into the search bar vegan. You'll find everything. I'm a member of a few of them. There's one for new vegans. There's one for punk rock vegans. Of course, I'm in that one. And there's a bunch of others. So there's lots of support out there. I also encourage everybody to seek out support locally. And those Facebook groups can help do that if you're not aware of vegans in your area, if you don't have any vegan friends locally. Those would be a good way, especially if you live in larger areas. I've noticed there tend to be a lot more vegans in larger metropolitan areas. Go to Google, see if there's a vegan restaurant in your town or a nearby town. See if there's a Whole Foods. See if your local grocery store has a vegan section. I mean, I've met a couple of local vegans in my favorite local supermarkets, little Nature's Marketplace thing that they have. We have a vegan restaurant, just one. That's a great place to meet people. Get out there, meet people. Go to your farmer's market. You're going to get great food. Mine is either cheap or pretty comparable to what I would get at the produce section. Plus, you're gonna meet people. Go to specialty stores. Go to any of your health food stores. Odds are there's vegans that work there. 9 times out of 10. The most important thing about transitioning is just do it. I'm not going to make this stupid Shia LaBeouf joke that everybody does, because Shia LaBeouf seriously pisses me off, and none of that. But seriously, just do it already. Whether you're making a snap switch or whether you're trying to phase out everything little by little, use up the rest of what you got, whatever. Start today. Start making changes today. If you have a bunch of non-vegan food, if possible, donate it to a local food bank, or if you have a neighbor who might eat it, don't just throw it away, is what I'm saying. That's just wasteful. Do something with it. I would, if your food bank takes non-canned items, which I know a lot of them exclusively take canned items, and you have, a chicken breast or something, find something to do with that. But whatever you do, however you decide to transition, whatever works best for you, just don't give up. You may stumble, you may you may be vegan for a while and slip. You go out to dinner and find out that there's milk in something, or you may just be craving that slice of non-vegan pizza and stuff your face full of it, and you're going to feel like crap afterwards, probably, possibly physically, mostly emotionally. But you know what? Just get right back on it. Don't get discouraged. Don't let that one slip spiral out of control, and then a couple of years later, you're still spiraling. That's actually what happened with me. I went vegan a few years ago, and chicken wings were my downfall. That was always my comfort food, and I had a bad day, and I went right for the chicken wings, without hesitation. I felt like an addict. Nothing would cure what was wrong with me except for those chicken wings. So I got them, and I kind of threw up my hands and said, well, fuck it. This vegan thing apparently isn't working for me. I'm just going to drop it. And I felt really bad about myself for a really long time. This February, actually, I finally decided enough is enough. I'm going vegan. I had kind of toyed with the idea for a long time, since I strayed from veganism, so to speak. But again, I had a bad day, and I needed my chicken wings. So I went and bought them, and heated them up, took a bite out of the very first one, and there was a feather stuck to the breading. And at that point, that connection was made again in my head. Like, chicken isn't some abstract concept. It is chicken. Bottom line. And that jarred me awake, and I threw it out and didn't finish it. Ate a bowl of rice because it was the only vegan thing I had in the house at the time. And the next day I went out and bought a shit ton of vegan groceries. I spent like $250 on just stuff, including like cleaning products and stuff. I'm not telling you that because I think like, oh, I'm so cool, or trying to discourage you or anything like that. I'm just saying you may encounter setbacks, and that's totally okay. As long as you keep going, keep pushing at it. It's not always going to be easy. We're in this world. There's so many temptations out there. As I'm doing this, I have the TV on in the background, and there's all sorts of ads for, crap fast food, or milk, or all sorts of awful non-vegan friendly things, and you just got to tune it out. You really just got to tune it out and just forget about it. Just don't fall victim to it. There's a distinction between being vegan and being plant-based. Plant-based is basically you eat what's commonly called the vegan diet, which is kind of an oxymoron, really, because veganism is not a diet; it's a way of life. So I would love for society to adopt the plant-based diet moniker for that rather than vegan, because you could eat no meat and still not be vegan. How? Let me tell you. Any product that contains animal byproducts, or basically animals suffer at the hands of the creators of these products, those are certainly not vegan. Anything that is not cruelty-free is certainly not vegan. So some things that you need to phase out or replace that are not cruelty-free typically, that do absolutely have vegan alternatives. Any of your toiletries, toothpaste, shampoos, toothbrushes, razors, yes, the little lube strip, yeah, usually contain animal products. Anything that you use for personal hygiene, take a look at it, because odds are there's an animal product in it, or the corporation that produces it uses or condones animal testing. They may not use it on that particular product, but they may use it overall. Any of your cleaning products, testing on animals is a big thing with them. So do some research on who makes your favorite cleaning product and see if they do animal testing. The big ones who do, you're going to find Procter & Gamble, Unilever, a wealth of others that are just completely rushing out of my head right now. But do a quick Google search and you'll find them. PETA, as much as I hate PETA, which is a rant I will get to later, they're a great wealth of information as far as who uses animals for testing for their products. Shoes are a big thing, obviously. Leather. You may want to also look at the rubber, whether it's sustainable or not. I don't think anybody will really fault you too much if your rubber is plant-based, but not necessarily sustainable. But again, that's one of those things that are completely up to you. Cars, something I mentioned earlier, leather interiors, obviously not vegan. So if you're buying a new car, don't get a leather interior. There's something actually called leatherette. At least that's what Volkswagen calls it, I believe. It's pleather, basically, but it looks like real leather and is not contains no animal products. So if you like the look of leather, go with that. I think it looks just as good, but I always liked cloth seats anyway, so I mean that's neither here nor there. So that's just kind of a brief overview. I would ask you guys to comment or send me an email, more on that later, letting me know anything that you've found that is not cruelty free, and I'll either do a Facebook post with a list of that, or maybe I'll do a whole video just talking about cruelty free products and stuff like that. So a lot of vegans have pets or animal companions, however you want to phrase it. I do still use the term pet. I have a dog who, animal companion definitely works, but that to me feels a little too politically correct. So I don't do animal companion. She's my dog. I'm her human. It's not like I own her. Like, she's my dog. I am her human. She owns me as much as I own her, believe me. In fact, she probably would call herself the owner. I'm in no way an expert. Speak of the devil. I am in no way an expert on veterinary care. This is my girl. This is Athena, everybody. She'll be making regular appearances, I'm sure. I'm not a veterinarian. I'm in no way an expert on animal diets. I have a very picky eater here on my hands. So she's not vegan. We've tried vegan food. She didn't like it. She is very picky. There's one type of food that she will eat that I can really stomach feeding her. Another one is very obviously meat, and it's a little more expensive. But I do feed her premium food, but it is meat based. So dogs are not obligate carnivores. They are primarily carnivores. They are technically scavengers. They do hunt, but they, in lean times they'll scavenge for food. Cats, however, are obligate carnivores. So I would not recommend feeding your cat a vegan diet, personally. If I had a cat, I don't. But if I did, I would not feed them a vegan diet. Just because they do require meat. It's actually really unhealthy for cats to eat a plant-based diet. They can actually develop diabetes and cancers and have all sorts of internal problems. So consult the vet by all means. Like I said, this is just my opinion. I would not feed my baby anything that she didn't want to eat. If she liked the vegan food, I might reconsider it. But she doesn't like it, so she doesn't get it. And I get kisses. So we all win. What if I don't like veggies? Well, I wasn't a big vegetable eater either. I kind of forced myself, and my palate adapted, and so will yours. Your palate will absolutely adapt, and you'll be able to eat a little bit better. You'll be able to stomach vegetables a little bit better if you can't already. There are also tons of meat replacements, which are not necessarily the healthiest thing, but they're pretty damn good. I highly recommend anything Gardein. So, objections that you're going to hear from your Omni friends and family. There's always the good old, where will you get your protein? That's the biggest one, but a lot of them tend to focus on vitamins and minerals. Where do you get your B12? Where do you get your vitamin D? Where do you get your iron? Those are the big ones that I've heard. All of those can pretty much be found in certain vegetables. Vitamin D you can get from the sun. B12 is a little harder. That one you're probably going to want to supplement. But look at it this way. If your typical Omni got blood work done, they would be highly deficient in a lot of things. In fact, a lot of omnivores are very anemic, which is iron deficient. Another thing you're going to hear is, oh, you'll waste away, you'll lose too much weight, you'll get too skinny, oh my god, you're getting too skinny, you're wasting away right before my eyes. This one, I'm not going to lie, might be a little bit personal, because I did lose a bunch of weight, and my mom has said, oh, you're getting too skinny, you're too skinny. I'm right where I need to be now. I was grossly overweight before. So if you're just into veganism for weight loss, it's probably not going to work for you. It didn't for me. That was my motivation before. Now my thinking has evolved. I've read a lot. I've watched a lot of documentaries. It's definitely about the animals first, and the environment, and the very last thing on my mind is my health. That's a great perk. I'm healthier than I've ever been in my whole life. I weigh a good weight. All my blood numbers are good. I've just seen improvements across the board. Now that may not happen with you. Everybody kind of, their body reacts a little bit differently. I know there are some people who have put on weight and they're not eating like meat replacers or anything. They're eating raw vegan diets, and they're still gaining weight. So, everybody has a different metabolism. Some people have thyroid problems, which a vegan diet can help with. But don't get discouraged if you don't lose weight. Just think that you're making a difference. You're helping the animals, and that's really all that matters. Now, you're a vegan. Congratulations. You're making a huge difference. But there's one thing that you need to do. You need to support other vegans. Don't go around and beat down people who want to become vegan or people who have recently become vegan. There's no point in that. Be supportive. Be helpful. Share recipes. Share your opinions on products. Educate, but don't demean. Don't sit there and preach from your high pulpit and act as the ultimate authority in veganism, because you're not. I guarantee you're not. There's always more to learn. There's always more to do. There's always something that you're going to find out that you didn't know. And I'll bet you that's going to come from a new vegan who is researching ways to better themselves. Guarantee it. Also, don't be afraid to speak out. Don't worry about being the preachy vegan. Do it nicely. Don't be too preachy. Don't act like you're condemning somebody to hell for eating meat. That is the norm in our society right now. If you say, you're wrong, you're an evil meat eater, you're not going to get your point across. Do it in a well thought out, rational sort of way. And in my opinion anyway, that's the best way to do it. Yes, be passionate. Be angry, because it's fucked up. It's a fucked up situation out there. But don't take it out on somebody who has nothing to do with the meat industry. If you want to get pissed off at somebody who works for Tyson Foods or some shit like that. Don't get pissed off at the guy who's getting a Big Mac at, use your head. If you were an Omni before, you know what they're looking at. You know what they're looking at. You've been there. You've been in their shoes. So think about that when you're talking to an Omni, trying to fill their heads with the wonder of veganism. Think about that. Alright guys, so that's it for the first video. Thank you all so much. You have all been so supportive. I am so incredibly grateful. You guys are great. You absolutely are. You guys have given me so much support in everything. In doing this, you've given me laughs when I, start thinking, boy, I don't know if I can do this. And you guys have really come through, and I really appreciate it. The first video that I posted got over 100 views, so I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Like, comment, subscribe. Go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/angryveggiepunk. If there's anything you want to say to me, any suggestions, anything you want me to talk about, whatever, angryveggiepunk@gmail.com. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time.